Hello, welcome Libras. We are doing your horoscope for February 2026. If you guys hear some crunching in the back, that is my cat. So I'm so sorry. He's eating some food. But let's see what we got for you guys here. Okay, Libra. February 2026, Libra. Hello. I want this card. What is going on for you guys, Libra? Okay, Libra in February. I feel like you guys were kind of riding a little bit of a celebratory high. Okay, you guys were having a good time. Maybe it was like with the holidays, being around friends and family. Like I feel like things were pretty holly and jolly. Okay, they were pretty good, nice. But I think that's kind of died off. You're reaching a little bit of a lull or like a plateau. Definitely within, I think, relationships, definitely more so surrounded by family, could be romantic. But I'm kind of feeling that energy die out a little bit, but that's to be expected. Okay, it's normal. I think also too, if we look at relationships kind of like seasons, because that's also too like what spirit's really comparing this to here, is if we look at relationships as if they're seasons, the seasons come and go, things change. You have the bright airiness, beautiful new beginning of spring, and then summer, you're kind of riding that high. It's great, but then fall, things start to die out, it gets slower. And same thing, winter, like just everything's dead and cold. So I feel like we're kind of at that point here. In some relationships where it just feels like a little cold. Things have kind of died out. They've kind of simmered down a bit. We had the heat of the holidays, maybe Christmas time too. This has been going back for, but I feel like things have just kind of died out a little bit, and that's normal. It's to be expected. However, I think that this is kind of hitting some of you guys a lot, and I think for some of my Libras here, it's really tough and it's really hard to kind of go through that change of where we have, you know, the on one hand, a lot of people, a lot of things surrounding us, and then to go down to like almost nothing. It's kinda cold and quiet, and there isn't really, a lot going on there, and that can be hard. That can be hard to adjust to, and I think that this month in February, we're kinda seeing that a little bit, and you're definitely, having to be faced with that, adjustment here. And I don't think it's a bad thing, at all. It's just, again, it's like the seasons of life. You have seasons throughout your friendships and with your family and other relationships. And whether people sometimes don't say this, like I don't know why. Some people are like, that's not true. Relationships should be constant. What? That's a lie. It's a lie. Relationships are not like that. They are constantly changing, and you're constantly growing, or you're constantly going through new things or challenges or lessons. Like relationships should never be boring and stale and stagnant and same and repetitive. And this goes too for family. And it could be romantic, but I think that this heavily for you guys, Libra, really relies on family here. And you go through these same trials and tribulations with your family, and it happens and it's normal. But I think when it comes to, people we're related to, it's kind of dismissed, or it's not really looked at in that light. And this happens. It happens. You can really outgrow people also, which some of you might be doing, where again, you have this phase in relationship, or you have this relationship that you're going through, and you have this phase or this season with this person. You're super super close, things are really great, you feel really supported, and then it dies out, and then you're in the winter and it's cold and it's icy and it's uncomfortable, and it's not benefiting you in any way, right? So that happens sometimes with relationships, and it's to be expected. Going forward for you guys, this is kind of something you should keep, kind of tucked away under your hat here, to pull out at a later date, of like this knowledge of relationships where, they don't always go according to plan, or, nothing lasts forever, right? Nothing stays the same. And I think that for you guys, I feel like this is hard. This is a lot. And, coming from me, I've done this a lot many times over the years, throughout these relationships. So I feel like I've reached the point of, I guess, being comfortable within the discomfort. And I think that this is something that you guys are working on this month, Libra, because this is new for a lot of you. Some of you guys might be seasoned veterans, okay, on the ups and downs of relationships, but I think the majority of my Libras here, it's new. It's new for you guys, and it really is uncomfortable, and it really is tough, and it's hurtful. But I think that you guys will be okay. You guys will be able to move through this and master this. And I think that too, this month in February is going to give you like a new look and insight on your relationships. Like maybe this is a cycle that you guys have kind of been through years and years and years together, where you guys, repeat the same cycle with these family members or these friends or whoever it is that you're thinking of that I'm talking about right now, right? I think that you guys have been through these like repetitive cycles with this, person over and over again, that it's just, something you feel like used to. But I think things have changed. I think things have changed now where it's like it's a little too much for you guys to kind of ignore, or it's like, we got an elephant in the room here of like, all right, we really can't leave this too much longer. We can't ignore this. And with the devil card here, the devil card is all about breaking bad habits and past cycles and things that hold us back, things that don't allow us to move forward here. And this is a pretty good card for you guys here. Definitely in alignment. I think for the message here is that it's kind of time to let go. I think it's time to move forward. I think it's time to um make your decision on, kind of letting things and people go. Again, it's the seasons of life. You can't sit in winter forever. You can't stay there forever. That's not how it works. Spring comes, summer comes, fall comes, and then you're back at winter. There's cycles. And I think that with you guys too, and going forward with these relationships and making whatever changes it is that you feel necessary to make in these situations, I think that, you're going to feel better. You might not feel great in the moment, but I think that you're going to feel better going into March. And it's almost like a weight has lifted, right? You don't have these things tying you down or weighing you down, or these relationships that didn't make you feel good. They don't really have a spot here in your life anymore. But that's not to say that, these people, and I feel like you guys really care about these people also, these people that, we're kind of taking a step back from, it doesn't mean that you're totally done forever and we're walling them out and, you can't ever reconnect with this sister or brother or, this friend or significant other. It just means now's not the season. Now's not the time. You guys just aren't aligned, and that's okay. And that happens. So this month, it's a lot. It's a lot. So make sure you guys are taking care of yourself. You're doing things and spending time and the energy that's good for you. And that means, the people who care about you, the people who show up for you. And you're sitting in that type of supportive and healing and upliftive energy, and not so much in the negative energy we've kind of been sitting in with these people in the past who just aren't it. They're not supportive. They're not, making you feel good about yourself. They're not showing up for you. They're just kind of very dead and dull, and it's not good. So February is transformative for you guys, Libra, and you do have love. You do have love and support there. Just make sure we're paying attention to those relationships that we do have. And I wish you guys all good luck.